stumble, we're around the corner. In our hands, you look so much stronger. A home is more than a structure. It's a sanctuary, a cherished retreat where dreams are nurtured. Call their own. A space that embodies security, warmth, and belonging. This is a place where memories are made, families are raised, and the dreams of today lay the foundation for the generations of tomorrow. Imagine the pride and the peace that comes with knowing you have a stable, welcoming haven. A space that grows and evolves with you and your family. It's a place where you feel safe, where you celebrate milestones, and where every wall, every room holds significance. Here, you find the strength to dream and the freedom to live fully, knowing you have a place to return to, a place that is unmistakably your own. It's home. Together we rise and we belong. Where you stumble, we're around the corner. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, members. Welcome to today's session. Welcome to today's session. We are so humbled to have you joining us this wonderful day. We have a very, very interesting session today. For those who have been asking for, investment opportunities in terms of mortgage, in terms of real estate, we have Centum on board today, and they'll be taking us through a very interesting session. So we ask that you stay put throughout this session. My name is Anne. I'm your host today. I'll be joined with several of my colleagues. So I will introduce them as they take over their sessions. So before we start, please invite your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends who are not yet members of Corner Circle. Invite them to join us this wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, depending on where you're joining the call from. We'll be very glad to host them. Please take 2 minutes. I'm just giving you 2 minutes to invite your friends to join us, invite your colleagues, invite your neighbor, so that this message will not pass them today. So I'm giving you 2 minutes to invite them. So as you invite your colleagues, please tell us where you're joining the call from on the chat session. On the chat, just type where you're joining the call from and tell us how you're feeling today. And we'll also really appreciate if you post your questions on the Q&A. Kindly post your questions. If you have any question regarding mortgage, regarding Centum, regarding Corner, please post them on the Q&A. On the chat, just tell us where you're joining the call from. Thank you. 1 minute to go. Wow. Kilifi is represented.
Maryland, USA. Karibu sana. That's our diaspora member. Karibu sana. Thank you for representing diaspora. Any other person? US is very, very represented today. UK is presented. South Sudan. Hello there. Karibuni sana. Please ask your friends, your colleagues to join us. Prepare your questions to do with the real estate, mortgage, or if you have a friend who is willing to join, you can post your question on the Q&A. We'll be able to respond to them as we continue with the session. Qatar, karibu sana. Someone is joining from Mandamano. So Mandamano is also represented. Karibu sana, please be safe. Look for a corner and make sure you are safe even as you enjoy this session. Germany, nimeona mko chonjo. Canada, asante sana. Trans Nzoia is represented. So in the count of one, Switzerland is represented. Wow, diaspora wameamua leo. So this meeting today is just for diaspora members. Atlanta. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Even Imara Daima is represented. So it's not only for diaspora. So asanteni sana. Like I said before, my name is Anne, and we really appreciate your membership. We really do value your membership. Please feel at home, be comfortable, and just ensure that you have something to keep you busy throughout this session. So as we start, I will introduce Nelson to briefly take us through the mortgage product, the process, the requirements, and anything to do with mortgage briefly. Then we can introduce our guest speaker for today. Thank you. Karibu Nelson. You can be introducing yourself as I bring up your slides. Nelson, you can move closer to your mic. We can't hear you. A bit louder, Nelson. Yes, you can hear you. Yes.
Okay. In today's session, I'll be
Maintain Apple. Maintain Apple.
In today's session, I'll be able to take you through the requirements for the mortgages, the requirements, qualification requirements, submission of loan requirements, evaluation and environmental survey, approval and issuance of a mortgage, and then there is conveyance, insurance, disbursement, monitoring, and costs associated with a mortgage. Maybe now, Han, you can share the slide. I will make it brief because we have our case today. In terms of CONASACCO mortgage qualification, one is required to be a member, active member for the past 6 months, and one must have saved to the minimum share capital of 40,000. And then, depending on the loan amount you take, the maximum loan for KMRC construction mortgage and KMRC ready home is up to 10.5 million, payable up to a maximum of 25 years. That is translating to 300 months, but it will be backed on your retirement age and also for business people, it goes up to 15 years. In terms of the requirements, there is two types of category. Categorize the members in two types. There is individual members and there is members on check-off arrangements. For members on check-off, the main documentation we normally require is introduction letter from the employer confirming the terms of employment. And also we check also on the ones on contract. We check how many times has your contract been renewed for us to consider for a mortgage. And then payslips, certified payslips, copy of ID, KRA PIN, cell agreement, and standing order for the check-off. There is members who are there are members who are on employment, but they are not on check-off with the SACCO. So therefore, the terms a bit changes because we require them to initiate external standing order.
Nelson, just a minute. On the chat, members are saying that they can't hear you.
Okay.
Maybe you can raise your voice a little bit and also you check your settings. Okay, for me, from my side, I can hear you, but not so audible. You can just raise your voice a
Right
little
now?
bit, then we can confirm.
What about now?
Yes, yes. Let me confirm.
So I was confirming the requirementation for members on checkover, whereby we will require several documents in terms for ranging from introduction letter from the employer confirming the terms of employment, 3-month certified pay slips, cell agreement, and then KRA PIN and copy of ID. For business people, we normally require the loan form, CR12 business registration document, 6-month certified bank statement to confirm on the eligibility for the product. And it's always advisable for every member, before even signing any sale agreement for a house purchase, before even signing any sale agreement for a house purchase, it is always recommended that you visit the SACCO, inquire if you have the ability and if the SACCO is in a position to grant you that loan. Because there is a situation whereby you might lose your deposits for such cases. So, and term number 3 on the submission of loan requirements. Currently, you can do the submission online via email, or you can do it online, or you can submit them physically to the SACCO office. Once we have all the documentation and is ready for processing, the member will be required to select a valuer from approved or pre-qualified valuers for the SACCO to undertake the valuation of the property. Once valuation is done, there is some information which it is captured on the report, which will help us determine on how much we can really use as security for that loan. Normally, there is 4 values indicated on the report. There is the market value, there is mortgage value, there is the forced sale value, and there is the insurable value. For mortgage, currently we use the mortgage value. For other normal loans, we use the forced sale value. Once we have the valuation report, that the mortgage officer and one of our audit team, we normally do environmental visit or environmental survey as a requirement by KMRC, whereby we visit the property, we go and check if this the actual report presented by the valuer is what we see on the ground. Once we get the valuation report, we do the environmental survey, we come back to the office and now process the loan and present it for approval. There is some different levels of approval from internally to the board level. Once we get all those approvals, we then draft an offer letter. The offer letter will capture several information. It will capture the loan name, loan number, repayment period, the security to be used, the loan type, expected repayments on monthly, and also the insurer. We have a panel of insurance that will also capture this offer letter. Once the offer letter is done, the member also will be required to select a lawyer from the panel pre-qualified list. Remember, we don't use any other lawyer or valuer who is not pre-qualified. Therefore, any member should always engage the SACCO lawyers and valuers. Once the offer letter is ready, we have our internal legal team who will therefore prepare charge instructions whereby they will forward to the selected lawyer so that they can support the member in performing the perfection of the securities. In perfection of the securities, there are several stages that is involved. Both there is money involved. For example, there is the lawyer's fee that the member and the lawyer will agree on. There is the statutory payments, for example, the stamp duty, the such fees, which will also apply. For stamp duty, the 2% applies on properties which are within rural areas, and then there is the 4% for in cities. It will be charged at 4% of the price. Once the conveyance process is completed, member will be required to procure for insurance. There is two types of insurance. There is the mortgage life, which covers the member life. In case of death, the next of kin will be able to be handed over the property and the insurance company will pay off the loan. In terms of, there is also the domestic package whereby it covers fire and peril insurance. Once if the house gets burned, the insurance will come in and reimburse the client. Once all those is done, the disbursement will be done. It will be done to the member first account, and then the member will be required to fill external funds transfer form as per the details captured on the financial undertaking. And then there is also in terms of the insurance, there is the construction loan. Construction loan, it dispersed in tranches, but now member will only be required to pay first for the mortgage life, and then later, once the house is ready, member will be required to pay for the fire and peril. Once the disbursement is done and the funds generated to the seller, the monitoring now commences because now one is expected to pay the loan on monthly basis without fail, and then without fail. So on the cost part, we can go to the next slide. And Vivian, next. There are several costs which are associated with the mortgage. Normally, once you agree with the seller, you will agree on a down payment whereby it can be 10% to 15 to 20, but normally it is 10% of the selling price. And then there is the valuation fee. On our side, we have an agreement with the valuers to charge a maximum of 40,000 for a property with a market value not more than 20 million. If the market value is more than 20 million, the valuer can still negotiate with the client to charge some extra fee because of there is some property which is outside the city. It will involve much cost to value it. And then there is the loan processing fee. SACCO processing fee is 0.5% of the loan amount plus now the excise duty. For example, if it's a 10 million, it is 0.5% of the 10 million times the stamp duty of 20% on the fee. And then there is the legal fee. Normally, it is always advisable for a member, if you engage our external lawyers, you agree on a fee and make sure you get a fee note, so that any cost charge will be based on what you had agreed on the fee notes. The stamp duty explains the 2% on the rural and 4% on the urban property. Stamp duty, if it is a mortgage buy-off, whereby currently we only buy off mortgage loans which was issued after 1st of April 2021, simply because KMRC was incorporated the same year, so they cannot buy off any mortgage which was issued before their incorporation. That is why we buy off mortgage which was issued by that date. In addition, KMRC also accepts a mortgage which the mortgage, the disbursed amount should have been below their maximum of 10.5. For example, if you got a mortgage of 10 million in 2021 April, but you have managed to reduce it to 10 million, therefore the KMRC refinance option will not be acceptable. Insurance premiums. The premium, normally it is based on the value, age of the member, and health-wise. Then they will give you a quote, and then you make the payment. There is the title registration fee, 5,000 to 2,000 paid to the ministry. Excess duty on the processing fees are earlier stated, and other costs applicable. Maybe I can just expound on the KMRC refinancing definition. Normally, what happens as the primary mortgage lenders, I think CONASACO with, I think, 5 other SACCOs were the main and the banks, we were only 18. But currently, KMRC incorporated all other financial institutions to their list. Hence, other SACCOs and banks can nowadays issue loans. But initially, it was the 5 SACCOs and the 14 banks. So what normally happens when a member applies for a loan, we process the loan from the word go until we disperse. Once we disperse, since the SACCO used this money and the loan is at 8% or 9% for construction, KMRC will come in and say, this loan you have issued, give us this and this and this, then we will refinance you. Refinancing meaning they will give us exact amount as the amount dispersed to the member so that we can continue with the disbursement to the new applicants for the mortgage. I think from that point, I think for Q&A answers will come later, but you can just post your questions on the chat. But for now, let me welcome Martin Kariuki from Centum for the presentation. Thank you, Amphibian.
Thank you, Nelson, and greetings, everyone. I'm Martin Kariuki from Centum Real Estate. I'll take this brief moment to quickly introduce the team from Centum that is with me on this call. I'll request them to put on their video. I'll start by introducing Mary. Mary, you can say hello. And then Wycliffe.
Mute Mary.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are really grateful and we look forward to having a meaningful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are watching us. My name is Wycliffe Mairura, Sales and Marketing Manager, Vipingo Development under Centum Real Estate. We are thrilled to join you today as we have this conversation in real estate investment and wealth preservation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary and Wycliffe. So I'll give a brief overview of Centum Real Estate. Then my colleague Mary will present the various opportunities that we have in different locations. So in Centum Real Estate, I serve Vipingo Development as a general manager. So who are we as Centum Real Estate? We are a fully owned subsidiary of Centum Investment PLC, and we are listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange and also Uganda Stock Exchange. Our core business as a real estate arm of Centum is to develop, sell, and manage mixed-use urban nodes and master-planned communities. Currently, we are in Kenya and Uganda. What do we offer you? We offer you affordable, mid-market, and high-end housing in gated concept. So we give you a broad concept so that you see where you fit in terms of affordability. We also give you fully serviced residential plots Serviced means they are plug ready for construction. We also give you fully serviced commercial and industrial plots for those who wants to do business on the various urban nodes that we are creating. So we are currently in 3 prime locations with excess of 10,000 acres. The largest one is Vipingo Development, which is located in Kilifi County, about 35 kilometers from Mombasa. We have a 10,000 acre coastal city that we've been developing for the last 7 years and still continuing. We have a lot of opportunities there, which we'll share with you. We have 2 rivers in Nairobi, in the diplomatic zone of Gigiri. There we have 106 acres that we've been developing since 2010. So there's quite good progress and still a lot of work to be done. We are also in Uganda on the periphery of Lake Victoria in Entebbe. We are in a peninsula called Garuga. We are developing a 389 acre well master planned development there. So why would you consider Centum Real Estate? I'll just point a few areas. You are assured of title once you finish paying for your property, be it a house, be it a piece of land. We are strong believers of gated living, and that's why we are creating our own cities. And within those cities, we have master planned very well, preserving at least 30% of it to be greenery, just to cure some of the problems that we've been facing in our traditional cities. We also give you flexible payment plans. Our portfolio is huge. So in case you want something with a longer payment plan, or you want something that is finishing in less than a year, we have something for you. So flexibility of payment plan, a good track record of delivering projects. Some of these projects we've been working on them since 2010. Some are finished, some are in the pipeline, some are yet to come. And we, being a listed business in the stock exchange, we have very strong governance, and we conduct ourselves in a professional manner. We also know that the real pain point of a customer is not in the process of buying, is what happens when we give you the key to your house. So what we've done is to have an in-house property management team so that it is optional. Once we deliver your house, you can sign a property management contract so that we take away the headache of looking for tenant and managing that tenancy and collecting rent and handling repairs. What can you expect from our presentation today? You will see a lot of opportunities that are ranging from 2.4 million all the way to 55 million. So Mary, my colleague Mary, will get into the details of that. And these opportunities will come in form of either an individual purchase, or you can come as a group and buy a property or buy land and develop according to our guidelines. As I conclude, if somebody was to ask me on the street, what then do we help with in terms of how do we help the humanity? We say that we help the humanity to build wealth through property ownership, and not just any property ownership. You're owning a property in a secure, sustainable, and tailored to your financial goal. That's why we are catering for the broad spectrum of affordable, mid-market, all the way to the high end. So at this point, I would like to invite my colleague Mary. In the next 15 minutes, she'll show you some of the products we have. Then as she presents, please post your questions on the chat. We'll respond to all of them. And we can also have a session of Q&A at the end. Thank you. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you so much, Martin. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, from wherever you're joining us from. My name is Mary. Nyambura. I work at Vipingo Development PLC, and thank you so much for joining us today. When we think about real estate, we often talk about location, value, and investment. But at Vipingo Development, we believe it's about something deeper, creating spaces where people can thrive, where infrastructure supports both growth and quality of life, and where every detail is intentionally designed to offer long-term value. And today I'll be taking you through a journey of what makes Vipingo not just another development on the coast, but a master planned community that blends sustainability, lifestyle, and opportunity in a way that is reshaping the future of coastal Kenya. Welcome. Before we dive into the presentation, I was browsing through my social media platform recently, and I bumped into this meme. My grandfather was Peter Alexander Himakia in 1961 at Ramogi Studio, flexing on his new Yamaha, bought about refusing to buy 5,000 acres of land in Juja, saying he cannot live with hyenas. And, you know, it's funny because right now I'm so sure that this motorbike is probably a piece of metal that is abandoned somewhere, but the 5,000 acres of land in Juja is worth billions at the moment. So I don't know if today we are going to choose to be dreamers who are going to change the world, or rather other people will be just facing the change as it happens. So as Centum Real Estate isn't just a developer, it's a market leader. We bring with us a legacy of over 5 decades in the market. And over the years, we've seen what works, what doesn't, and we've learned valuable lessons from even our mistakes. The numbers you see on your screen today reflect the adaptive and resilient company Centum Real Estate is. And what makes us stand out is our deep understanding of the market and the people we serve. Whether you're looking for an affordable starter home, a solid mid-market investment, or a luxurious high-end property, we build solutions across the full spectrum. And we just don't cater for the market. We anticipate its needs. We set the pace and deliver value that grows with time. I usually believe that success is usually best measured by recognition, and Centum Real Estate is in an exemption. We've been honored on a global scale with a number of recognitions, like the best real estate developer in Kenya from the World Real Estate Awards. And we also received an award as the super brand in East Africa due to the market feedback that we've received, just to mention but a few. So it's really important to know and to understand that you are going to engage with a trusted real estate developer. And this is part of our portfolio. We have Palmarina in Entebbe, Uganda. We also have Two Rivers in Nairobi, as well as Vipingo City in Kilifi. And why should you invest in real estate? Just have a look at Dubai in the year 1985. For those people who dared to dream, this is Dubai in 2025. How much are they worth currently? One that was just dust or sand in the year 1985. And this was a Napier grass plantation somewhere in Kenya. And in 2025, this is how it looks like. This is Two Rivers development. Again, this is somewhere in Kenya. It was just barely a sisal plantation in 2018. And this is how it has turned out to be currently in 2025. So you're going to be a dreamer who's going to dream, or you're going to face the change as others, and so you might be asking, why should I really invest in Vipingo development? And one of the things that sets this place apart is the thought that's gone into the basics, like water. No, living in a community where water isn't a worry, not just today, but for years to come. At Vipingo, we made that possible by building our own desalination plant capable of producing over 3 million liters of water on a daily capacity. And this water is fresh and potable. And potable, it's fresh and potable. By potable, I mean it's clean. You can literally drink from the tap, directly from the tap. And it's one of those quiet assurances that makes a place, truly livable. And just a few minutes away, you can unwind at the serene Baobab Golf Course. Prove that at Vipingo, we don't just plan for homes, we plan for a lifestyle, one that's balanced, beautiful, and built to last. When you walk through Vipingo, you will notice something different. Space to breathe, to slow down, to reconnect. That's not by accident. From the very beginning, we committed to setting aside nearly a third of our land for greenery, parks, walk trails, and natural landscapes. We've through the development, we've balanced environment for families, visitors, and future generation. It's a reflection of our belief that sustainability isn't just about buildings, it's about the space between them. And we've seen Mombasa stretch and grow, especially towards the north. And it's not just population pressure, it's infrastructure driving it. The dueling of the Mombasa-Malindi Highway is a game changer. It's already starting to actually reshape how people move, cutting down travel time and making places like Vipingo far more accessible. For professionals working in Mombasa or Kilifi, that is the ease of commute or commuting from Vipingo, rather from Mombasa to Malindi, is enough to, makes Vipingo, rather Mzizi, part of it, a place or an attractive rental choice, close enough to the city, yet far enough to enjoy peace and affordability. And Vipingo is no longer just a serene destination. It's fast becoming an economic powerhouse. And at the heart of the transformative is the 2,000 acres of land where we were gazetted as special economic zone that is designed as a modern industrial hub. It comes with tax incentives and ready infrastructure to attract major investors. And as industries begin to set up and operate operation scale, we are looking at thousands of jobs being created. And with that, a rising demand for housing. It's a clear signal that Vipingo is on the path to becoming not just a place to live, but a thriving center for business and investment. And most of the time when people hear of coastal Kenya, the first thing that comes to mind is the ocean breeze, the sound of waves and the laid back beauty of seaside living. And Vipingo captures all of that and more. Just 3 minutes from the Kuruitu Beach and the Marine Conservancy, residents can enjoy water sports, marine life exploration, or simply unwind by the shore. It's not just about being near the ocean, it's about living a lifestyle shaped by it. That coastal charm is what makes this development not only desirable, but, deeply valuable. And these are part of the things that you can do when you live in Vipingo. Just to mention but a few, like the Fort Jesus and also the Gederuns, the Watamu Marine Park, and so many other interesting things. And it's worth noting that in Vipingo development, we are accessible through air, land, and water. These are part of the opportunities that we are offering at Vipingo. We have 1255 Palm Ridge, which is part of the affordable housing, ideal for first-time buyers, starting from 2.45 all the way to 8.9. These are apartments. And then we have Awali Estate, mixtures of bungalows and also masonette starting from 16.6. All of them, the 3-bedroom plus DSQs, they are all en suite and they're sitting on 1/8 acre plot. This is basically the master plan of the whole development. We are doing them in courts, starting from court 1 and 2, which will be ready in 1 year's time from now. And part of the amenities that we have a clubhouse, we have a swimming pool, we have a kids play area, a mini tennis court pitch, and a basketball pitch as well. And we've heavily invested in green spaces. Then this is 1255 Palm Ridge. We had phase 1 where we had a total of 440 units, and we are currently selling phase 2 of plan. We are projected to ground break in July. We have Kingswood. For those people who love plots, this is the place to be, where you can buy a fully serviced plot from starting from 3.3 million. And the plots it's a gated community. And just to mention that it's a controlled development. So you're given 4 different typologies. You don't have to stress yourself that if I do my own retirement home, somebody else will come and buy a plot next to me and they do an apartment. No, you're rest assured that it's a controlled development and nobody will put up an apartment next to you. Apart from the serviced retail Kingswood plots, we also have Kingswood bulk and also platinum for those who love space, from half an acre to 1 acre plot, starting from 10 million for a half an acre plot and 1 acre for 20 million. We also have residential bulk. This is ideal for chamas, for circles, for company land buying and selling companies. So they just subdivide and then they start reselling, or they can also decide to develop there. We also have retirement village court you can come up together as friends, a group of friends, maybe 6, and you buy 1 acre plot and then you subdivide amongst yourself. We'll also service the plots up to the boundary at 23 million. 23.1 million. So we had in Kingswood, we had phase 1, phase 2, which is currently fully sold out, and we are selling phase 3 at the moment. Apart from that, we also have commercial plots, ideal for businesses. If you have any business idea like a hospital, a restaurant, a petrol station and all that. So we are selling first and we are selling second and third row because we are sold out on first row. 1 acre is going from 10 million. And then we also have industrial park. We have the general industrial park, and then the special economic zone, and also the export processing zone. And because of time, we'll be sharing this presentation and you can have a look at what we have in Vipingo. This is a video that showcases the real time, how Vipingo looks like, but we won't be able to go through the whole thing. And at Two Rivers, we are the one that is in Nairobi. We also have properties like Elma 1 apartment, which is also part of the affordable housing, together with 26 Mzizi Court apartments. And they are starting from 2.5 million for Elma, that is a studio. And then for the mid-market, we have Riverbank apartments and also Cascadia from 13.2 million. On the high end, we have Two Rivers duplexes. It's one of the newest baby that we have in Two Rivers, where 3-bedroom duplex plus DSV is going from 40 million. And we have the loft residence that we've already sold out and fully handed over the units to the owners. And one of the things that, every December, families tend to pack their bags and head to the coast and brace for hotel rates that seem to rise higher, especially during peak seasons. And the views are beautiful, but the bills, not so much. So this is where Vipingo comes in. And Now imagine a different rhythm, arriving at the coast, skipping the check-ins, counters, and walking into a space that entirely belongs to you. That's the experience that we are giving you at Vipingo. If you invest in LAN or any ready units, assuming you get a 2-bedroom apartment at Mzizi, that is 1255 Palm Ridge, which offers you comfort, privacy, and even the freedom to enjoy the coast on your own terms. No check-ins, no seasonal rate hikes, just your space the way you want. And taking an average daily rate at a hotel in Vipingo or on the coast is 35,000 Kenyan shillings. Assuming we just spend, for a family of 5, and you take 2 rooms, that amounts to 70,000. And duration per holiday, let's assume you stay for 10 days there. You end up spending 70,000 by 10 days. That is 700,000. And if you do that, maybe you took even a trip twice. You take a trip twice to the coast, 5 days, still amounts to 700,000. If you do that, if you multiply 2 trips per year, you get up to 1.4 million Kenyan shillings, which you can use to and invest maybe in 1255 Palm Ridge. And when you're available, you come to your unit. When you're not available, you can put your unit as an Airbnb. And you get to earn also passive income, and you don't have to actually spend. It's actually more rewarding, Over a few years, the money spent on seasonal bookings could go towards something that builds equity and lasting memories. It's not just a getaway anymore. It's an investment in your lifestyle. Owning a rental unit should be rewarding, not stressful. And most of the time, people tend to come and ask us, so how will I be able to, manage my property when I'm far away? I'm not even maybe in Kenya, I'm busy with work and all that. And that's why we offer full property management services at a minimal fee, starting from just 5% of rental income. And you won't have to worry about finding tenants, chasing rent, or handling maintenance issues. We do it for you. From marketing your unit and setting rental rates to coordinating repairs and resolving tenant concerns, our team ensures your property is well taken care of. It's a seamless way to enjoy passive income while we handle the day-to-day for you. So when you get a cheap haircut at a cheaper, or a wrong barber shop, this is how you will end up looking like. But the good thing with that, it will only take a few weeks for your hair to grow back. But when you make the same mistake in real estate, it will take you years to recover from it. So it's really important for you to take your time to do your due diligence and ensure that you are dealing with a trusted real estate developer. And the best time to build real estate was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. And this KMRC, Konasako is also offering you a cheaper mortgage that is through the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company. Reach out to them and they will be there to offer you the loan. And this is the best time to reserve. If you need to book a reservation or to just come and view or even do a virtual tour of the property, please feel free to reach out to me at m.nyambura@centumre.co.ke, or you can also use my phone number +254 741518984. Apart from that, you can also reach out to us through our call center number +254 747091978, or even our email at info@vipingodevelopment.com. Feel free to reach out to us, and we also have, something for you. When you reach out through Konasako, you get a 1% discount on your purchase. And also we give you, for anybody who will reserve any unit today, you get a free 2-night stay at Awali in Vipingo, and it's full board, so you don't have to worry about the meals. We'll bring a professional chef for you and all that. So feel free to reach out to us and we'll be able to assist you with this investment journey. Thank you so much and have a good day. Back to you, Martin.
Thank you, Mary, for the wonderful presentation. So at this point, I will invite Konasako to guide us on the Q&A.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Mary, for such a wonderful presentation. Members, you had posted your queries on the chat. So what you are going to do, I'll call Nelson to answer your questions. Probably if we have any that has not been answered, Nelson can go ahead and answer them live. Or if you have any more questions, you can post them on the Q&A so that Nelson can read out and answer. And then Nelson, you come across, if there's any that is directly is for Centum, then we can invite Martin for 5 minutes to answer any, then Nelson 5 minutes, then we can call it a day. Thank you.
In the chat section, let me just review on the charts. No? Does the insurance of the mortgage cover job loss? And if so, for how long? It covers job loss for up to 9 months, and the insurance can pay to a maximum of 2 million. Kindly elaborate costs involved on the mortgage, buy and build, moving and renovation. For buy and build, there will be several costs because first of all, there will be the sale agreement between the seller and the buyer. There will be the stamp duty on transfer of the title from the seller to the new buyer. And then now there will be the valuation, there will be the insurance, mortgage processing fee. For construction, we normally have the SACCO keywords, whereby you will be doing a visit to ascertain the progress of the construction and give us a report. So that one is paid by the member. And then also there is 0.1% of the loan amount for charging the property. For more information, you can just email me. I've shared my email on the chat. And then,
Nelson, the audience is struggling to hear.
I don't know where the problem is. I'm using an earphone. I don't know. Right now, what about now? It's better.
It's better, yeah.
The other option, in case I have a plot, can you assist in building? Yes, this is possible. You need to approach us so that we can check on your eligibility. Then we can guide you on the next steps. And then, what is the minimum shares one can get a mortgage loan? Normally there is 2 types of deposit. There is the shares and the deposits. The minimum deposit is at 40,000 per member, but on the multiplier now, we issue the loan up to 10 times your deposits. If one took a car with the SACCO, can you still take a loan? How much of the savings does one need? The multiplier will be at five times your deposits, and you can take, right now we don't have that land loan, but you can take another loan type, normal loans, and use the title as security for the loan, whereby we will do valuation and charging of the property before disbursement. Phyllis, at the moment, we have serviced land in Vipingo. No, this is your response from Martin. Hello, Phyllis. Plots Vipingo, Kilifi. Phyllis was asking if there is a plot in Eldoret. Phyllis, the SACCO can finance you purchase of a plot now under the normal loans. The same way, you can just identify the land, approach the SACCO, we check your eligibility. If it is okay, we will do the valuation of the property, and then we do the.
You started losing you, Nelson.
about now?
It's better.
Okay, I'm having a problem. I don't know why. Do I need to be present in Kenya to process the mortgage and complete on the property? No, you don't need to be present in Kenya. We have done several for members in diaspora. It is possible you can do it online. Please share the details on email for Centum investment option. This will be shared. No? Martin, just note that for sharing.
Okay, we'll circulate.
Chuck Odede, none at Kisumu at the moment. We have, okay, I think this is our response from Martin. A 2-bedroom unit is costing for 7.2. That is from Nyambura. I think there is no other question unless on the Q&A section. Good evening. There is a flyer. We went about the included tranquility. The 3.3 million is for the land purchase. Oh, this one is for Martin. Will answer this one. Can someone get the construction loan while the mortgage loan? While I hope you are saying while you have a mortgage loan in service with the SACCO. It will depend. If you have a KMRC mortgage loan, you cannot take 2 KMRC mortgage loans at a go. So the only option you will have to take is now the normal SACCO loan, Ustawi, at 12% per annum. And we can also disperse it in tranches for that to cover the construction of the house. And then for Centum properties, they mentioned that they can help manage a property for you. Martin, what you can just do, respond to question 1 and question 3. Martin?
Yes, Wycliffe, you can help us answer the question.
Thank you, Martin. Nelson, if I can hear you correctly, kindly repeat question 1. I'm trying to scroll through the chat to see the questions. Nelson? Can you hear me?
Perhaps Wycliffe, just scroll through and respond to all Centum questions. That would be the easiest, starting at the most recent one.
Okay, thank you.
I can read for you. Good evening. There is this flyer we sent about excluded tranquility. The 3.3 million, is it for the land purchase or is it the house or is it for both?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I think it came from, thank you for that question. So the flyer is for the land. 3.3 million is for the land. These are fully serviced piece of land, an 8th in Vipingo. Fully serviced, we mean they have connection to electricity, water reticulation, sewer connection, as well as a well-maintained gated community. All you need to do is just come and build.
And the 3.3 million is payable over time, and we give you 4 years to build. So you have a total of about 5 years to actualize your house. The second question is, does the down payment apply for own residential construction or for commercial construction? What is the average monthly repayment amount for a 10.5 million mortgage plan? Perhaps if you can answer the first bit, then Nelson on the second bit.
Thank you, Martin. So the down payment applies also for both residential and commercial investment options. So Once you commit the down payment, I think the rest of the mortgage in terms of 10.5 mortgage plan, Nelson, you can answer that as well.
Nelson, you can guide on that. What is a typical 10.5 million repayment monthly?
The repayment for 10.5 million, now it will vary based on the retirement age of the customer. It can vary, but it will range between, let's say, 80 to 90.
80,000 to 90,000.
Yes.
Depending on the time.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then there's a question here. Talk to us about KMRC and this loan amount borrow up to 10 times your SACCO deposit, enabling significant financing for your dream home. Does this require guarantors? Does this require you to process salary via FOSA? This is for you, Nelson.
In regards to the KMRC mortgage, it is applicable to all members and to a maximum. Initially, the KMRC mortgage commenced in 2021. The initial amount was 4 million. It went to 5 and then to 7.5, and then they increased the amount to a maximum of 10.5 million to a maximum of 25 years. The mortgage product is at an interest rate of currently CONASACCO has the lowest interest rate for KMRC mortgage loan at 8% for ready houses and 9% for mortgage construction houses. And then the construction houses is normally dispersed in tranches depending on the provided BQ, and we normally agree with the client on the amounts before we start the disbursement. Once the loan, the first tranche is disbursed, then the repayment commences immediately for the first tranche. When the second tranche is disbursed, the repayment will increase until we finally disburse the last tranche. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. So he says you don't need a guarantor. The house that you're buying or the property you're developing is the one that is your collateral. And Nelson, do they need to process the salary through FOSA?
Currently, processing the salary through FOSA is not a must. So long as you give us repayment plan.
You are not, we can't hear.
Processing salary via FOSA is not a must, as long as you give us a repayment plan, either standing order or you initiate a direct debit.
Okay, so processing of the loan via FOSA, via salary via FOSA is not a must, as long as you give a standing order. Okay. All right. Then there's a question here from Dina. Please share the details on email for Centum investment options. This one we'll give to the CONASACCO after this webinar for circulation. Do I need to be present in Kenya to process the mortgage and complete on the property? Wycliffe, you can answer on the property. Nelson will answer on the mortgage bit.
Thank you, Martin. For you to start the process of owning a property in Kenya, you don't need to be specifically in Kenya. Nowadays, with the technology, we can do for you a virtual tour. For you, if it was a residential unit, you can get the residential unit by just viewing the virtual tour and choosing your unit. If it is a plot, we can share with you the map that we have. You can choose. And then from there, the process is seamless. We get to share with you the letter of offer, which you fill and sign for us. And then we can also share you the payment details as you start the installments. So any other thing we share via email. And also we do the courier services to you so that you can also get to sign the rest of the documents. So it's once you reach out to us, we'll be able to take you through the rest of the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Nelson, you can touch on the mortgage process. Does it require someone to be present in Kenya when it's coming from CONASACCO?
No, currently we do it online.
A bit of sound?
We can do it online. It's possible.
Okay, so basically someone can acquire the property, you can get the mortgage without coming to Kenya.
Yes.
The next question was from Jack Odete. Any investment in Kisumu, Bondo region? This one we don't have. The nearest to Kisumu and Bondo will be our Entebbe project. In Kenya, we are heavily in Two Rivers, Kasarani, and Vipingo development. There's another question here. Please share the rates for Vipingo. How much 2-bedroom are going for? Wycliffe, you can respond to this.
Thank you, Martin. For the apartments, if I can share all of them, we have a studio going at 2.45 million. We have a 1-bedroom a unit going at 5 million and 1-bedroom duplex at 5 million still. For the 2-bedroom, it is going at 7.2 million. And for the 3-bedroom is 8.9 million. So that one is also in our presentation that we did. We are going to share that as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Phyllis, we've taken note of the potential in Eldoret. We'll take that in our strategy. Then there was another question here on if I have my own plot, do you help me build? So this question can be answered from two sides. If it's a plot outside of our portfolio, the SACCO can help you. But if it's within our portfolio, we can help you develop on it. We have a panel of trusted contractors, consultants, and we have good rapport with the respective county governments, so an NCA. So yeah, if it's within our portfolio, we help. If it's outside, the SACCO is not limited to finance. Okay, let me see whether there is any. Phyllis, we've taken. Phyllis, you've been given email by Chebi from CONASACCO. There's a question here from Joshua. Is the KMRC mortgage payment based on reducing balance? Is there any penalty for early repayment? Nelson, this is yours.
To Joshua, KMRC payment is based on, it is a reducing balance and at a fixed interest rate at 8%. And there is no penalty for any early payment. You can take now this year, you clear by next year. The interest charge will be only on the balance by that time.
So yeah, Nelson is saying the KMRC mortgage is on a reducing balance and there's no penalty for early repayment. So you can take for say 10 years, you finish in 1 year, no penalty at all. Then there is another question here that is saying, it seems counterintuitive to service a loan on an off-plan unit while waiting up to 2 years for completion, especially when there is no income or usable value during that period. Could you kindly share how many of your current projects in Nairobi are already completed or at an advanced stage of construction? Wycliffe, you can tackle this in two ways. One is how the mortgage comes in, and number two is the properties that are completed in Nairobi and the one that are at advanced stage.
Thank you, Martin. So yes, you can get covered with an ongoing project or a project which is off plan. In Nairobi, we have 2 completed projects. That is Riverbank Apartments and Loft Residences. We also have 3, I can say 2, 3 projects under development. That is Cascadia and Mzizi, and then Elma 1 in Kasarani. And we also have one under market validation called the one that's in the luxury market, as well as a Riverbank Apartment Phase 2. So that is currently what we have completed under constructions and what we have under market validation. Thank you.
And the second question was it doesn't make sense to take a mortgage for off-plan. Perhaps you can respond to that on the dynamics.
How I can respond to that is taking a mortgage when it's off plan. Basically, you will get a discounted rate when it is off plan as compared to when the unit is completely constructed. We advise clients to take advantage during the construction phase because the prices are relatively lower as compared to completed units. That's how I can answer that question. Thank you. Any additional, Martin, you can add on that?
Yeah, let me add. What we normally do when it's off plan, we usually don't, the SACCO doesn't finance you when it's off plan. What they do is they give you a letter of intent or an undertaking that once the property is finished and the securities, that's the ownership document, the title is perfected, they will be able to release the money. Nelson, you can confirm if that is the correct position.
That is correct position.
Yeah, so for the off plan, all you need to do is talk to us so that you take advantage of the early price, as Wycliffe has mentioned. Then we agree on what you'll be paying, just something minimal to reserve the unit. Then talk to the SACCO. Then the SACCO will let us know that based on your current savings and your income status, if nothing changes in the next, the time that is remaining to completion, they will be able to fund you, and that we are okay. We'll proceed to finish the house, and then we can charge the property to the SACCO, and we can be paid our balance. There's another question here for Nelson. You said one can take another loan while they have another one with Corner. I didn't hear what savings are required. This comes from Bernice Kendi. Nelson, you can respond to that.
For Bernice, you can take another loan. For example, she says she has an asset finance. You can also take a development loan and use the land title as security for the new loan. The multiplier is 5 times the member deposits.
Nelson, you can come again on that response. We lost you towards the end.
For Bernice, having another loan is possible, another loan type apart from the asset finance, maybe now like development loan, but now the security for the loan will be the title of the property, and then the deposit multiplier is 5 times the member deposits.
So the deposit multiplier becomes times 5 when you are taking the second one.
Yes.
As opposed to?
Mortgage is times 10. For normal
Okay, as opposed to times 10.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't, the second one now you enjoy a less multiplier. Okay, another question for Wycliffe. This also came from Martin Kirui. For the Centum properties, they mentioned that they can help manage a property for you. What will be their fee? Wycliffe, you can respond to this.
Thank you, Martin. So we do management for the clients who enroll with us. Our fee ranges. Our fee is 10%. That is the percentage for management.
Yeah, and the 10% is for the short-term stays.
Yes.
If you are having a long-term tenant, we only charge you 5%. Long-term tenant is anybody taking more than 3 months. So that only charge you 5%. But for short-term, we charge you 10%. And the reason why for short-term is higher is because it's a bit involving. You have to check in, check out. You have to maintain cleanliness in the house. We have to hire ladies to do that work. And that's why the charge for Airbnb management is a bit higher than long-term tenancy. Question from Gladys Jiru. If your SACCO contribution is on active, can you get a loan? I guess she meant inactive. How many months do you contribute to reactivate it? So this is for you, Nelson.
For Gladys, for you to get a loan, it means you will have to reactivate your account for the next 2 months for you to access a loan.
Did you say 3 months?
2 months.
2 months, eh? So Gladys, you'll have to reactivate the account by depositing for the next 2 months before you can apply for a loan. Another question from Eric Yegon. Do you have rent to own properties? Let me respond to this. We don't have a rent to own properties. What we prefer is to work with a financial institution like CONASACO, so that you are still able to achieve the rent to own, but now you are paying the money to the SACCO. For example, some of the property that Mary presented here, when you look at a property of 2.4 million, when taken for 10 to 15 years, you find that the repayment is more or less equivalent to a typical rent, is in the range of 25 to 40,000. So that's how the rent to own works when we collaborate between us as a developer and the financial institution. Okay, there's another question here. Alan Gallo, consider Eldoret, we need houses here. That is well noted. Can I use another developer, e.g. Optiven, to buy land with corner? This is for you, Nelson.
To manage this is possible, so long as you have they have the real title, you will be able to finance. Martin, in addition, there is a question by David Okongo. I don't know whether you saw it.
Yes, most of Centum, David Bogonko, most of Centum projects are stalled or way behind schedule. That's Elma, Cascadia, even Mzizi. As an investor, my capital is stalled and earning me nothing. How sure can we be on the completion? I'll respond to this. This Cascadia, and let me talk to Mzizi. Mzizi was funded by the World Bank, the IFC, and their processes of dispersing the money took longer than we anticipated. They released the money on the Friday of last week, but one. So we should be able to finish that by December. Cascadia, we had an issue with a contractor. We had a Swedish contractor who woke up one day and left the country. We had to take a bit of time to get another first tier contractor. Now it's not going very well, and we are hoping to finish the first phase by December and the second phase by April. Elma, we had a similar scenario of the same contractor with Cascadia. So when this contractor left, we were left in a quagmire. So basically, we can now confirm that the projects are active, and I would invite David. You can send a representative to go and confirm the status on the ground. Another question from Dennis. What do you mean when you say 3-bedroom duplex? Wycliffe, this one you can respond.
Thank you, Martin. So, David, what we mean by a duplex structure, be it a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, or 3-bedroom, this is a typology where we have 2 living units within one structure. In a nutshell, we mean that you can have separate rooms upstairs and a living room downstairs within one structure. Thank you.
Okay, so that means you can have a mansionette, but in form of an apartment. One floor is some units, some rooms are in another floor than others.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. I think we have exhausted all the questions, unless there is any I have not seen.
Martin, there is some 2 questions on the chat section, on the Q&A section.
On the Q&A, okay. David Bogonko, can you share available units on the projects? We'll share with you that you can drop us your specific email. The rest we'll share in the blast for the members to purchase. Q&A, I'm looking at Q&A now.
The one for Alan.
The bottom ones, eh?
Yes.
My question is to CONASACO. Do you currently have SACCO land that members can buy? Nelson, you can go ahead.
For Brian, currently we don't have, but normally there is the ones we sold to the members. If there is anyone who is stuck, we normally post on the website. In addition, SACCO currently we cannot do land issues, because our main core business is just savings and credit.
Nelson, we lost you the halfway.
The main core business for SACCO is savings and credit, and currently we don't do it. But if some members who took a loan and they are not able to pay, we normally post on our website for willing buyers.
Okay, so Nelson is saying the core business of the SACCO is savings and credit. So ideally now having land is not part of the core business, and that's why they partner with now people whose land and properties is the core business, like ourselves. Then there's another question from Alan Gallo. You need to consider a building loan. If a member has a plot, you can fund the building, then have the property as security. Nelson, you can comment to this.
To Alan, currently, building loan, maybe that's a good suggestion, but also depending, we have the Fanikisha loan product, which has a repayment of even up to 8 years. You can even right now use it to do your construction. Yes, we look on the other option for introducing the building loan, but you can utilize the existing loan products.
I'm not sure whether, Alan, you've been able to hear that. Perhaps, Nelson, let me be on your case today. Add volume, or you try to use the laptop mic. In the meantime, Wycliffe, you can be answering this. What is the appreciation value in the past projects that have been sold to members of Corner SACCO? The question is asking, what is a typical appreciation in value for projects in Nairobi and Coast?
Thank you, Martin. I can just give an example in terms of figures so that the members can maybe understand. For instance, right now, the appreciation that maybe a typical unit like a one bedroom that has gained is from, for the past 2 years, is from 3 million to 5 million. That's an appreciation of around 2 million shillings. They have significantly gained value all across, even inland, as well as Nairobi as well. So yeah, that is a typical example I can give in terms of units.
Thank you. To assist Wycliffe on that, on average, the property in Nairobi and the coastal region, they appreciate between 3 to 5% per annum. So that is the range you can work with conservatively. Sometimes the value appreciation can be spiked by some factors, such as, like, for example, when the UN says they are expanding, they want to bring more UN agencies to Nairobi, and that makes the Two Rivers and the surrounding area to have a spike in the appreciation. But on average, it's about 3 to 5% of the purchase value of the property. Nelson, if you can try your mic. We go back to Alan Gallo. You need to consider a building loan. If a member has a plot, you can fund the building, then have the property as security.
Confirm you can hear me now?
Yeah, very clear.
For Alan case, currently we don't have the building loan, but that is a good suggestion. But you can utilize the current SACCO loans, whereby you can even use the Fanikisha loan as a repayment period of up to 8 years. That is 96 months. And then you can even use the title as security for that loan instead of looking for guarantors.
Okay, thank you for that question. There's a question that was asked earlier by Rick Mooley. Can someone get the construction loan while the mortgage loan is in service with the SACCO?
For Mooley, one can access one can access one KMRC loan at a time. But if you want to construct, you can opt for the current SACCO Stawi mortgage loan at 12% per annum. And also we'll agree on the mode of disbursement based on the BQ provided by the QS.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. There's a question here from Bernice Candy. How much is the monthly rate when one takes 2.5 million? Perhaps you can give it in the context of, say, a number of years.
For 5 years, I can only give a currently estimate amount for like 49,000 per month.
For 5 years, it will average 49,000 per month.
Yes.
Okay, so as more as you add time, the repayment per month reduces.
Yes.
Okay. Then there's a question, follow-up question here from Baljid. What is the rental income return on the investments done on the projects sold so far by CONASACCO? I'm not sure whether, Nelson, you've been able to sell any projects, but I can invite Wycliffe to give the returns that are being achieved at Two Rivers and Vipingo on the projects that are complete.
Thank you, Martin. Our rental yield ranges between 8% to 10% for both our projects in Nairobi and Vipingo.
Just to give context to that, the two projects that are complete in Two Rivers, one bedroom rental income, the minimum is 150,000, one bedroom. Two bedroom goes for 200,000. Three bedroom goes for 250,000. And four bedroom with DSQ goes for 300,000 if it doesn't have a garden. If it has a garden, 350,000. Those are in the higher end category. So the ones that are finishing in less than a year, that is the Cascadia and Muzizi. Those ones should be a bit lower because they are addressing the mid-market. For Vipingo, the bungalow goes for 100,000, mansionette goes for 150,000. The rate per night on those bungalows and mansionette is 20,000 for those who do Airbnb. 20,000 for the bungalow, 25,000 for the mansionette. For the apartments, apartments makes more money when they are furnished because a junior one bedroom, which is a studio, the daily rate is 4,000. A one bedroom is 6,000. A two bedroom is 8,000, and a three bedroom is 10,000. I hope that is very clear. Then Dismas is asking, is it possible to share a link for this recording via our emails or the YouTube link for a later review? Yes, this is possible, Dismas, and I'll ask the panelists, one of them to share the YouTube link here, but we'll also, the CONASACCO will circulate the YouTube link. What is the price for those houses in Two Rivers? Baljit did not get this. Perhaps I can give you a quick summary. So 26 Mzizi Court, the price ranges from 5.53. That's a junior one bedroom to a three bedroom of 15 million. Cascadia ranges from 13.2 million. That's a one bedroom, and a two bedroom at 19 million. That's now the affordable in the mid market. For the high end, one bedroom ranges from 17.2 million all the way to a three bedroom with a DSQ duplex next to Runda at 40 to 42 million. We will share the details in the summary that will circulate. I think we have been able to answer all the questions, and unless there is any I might have missed, at this point, I would like to thank Nelson and Wycliffe and all the people who have asked the questions. I will take the mic back to the host, CONASACCO. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Mary and Wycliffe, for such a wonderful session that we've had this evening. And we also thank our members for joining this call today. And we are very, very grateful that you have managed to stay put. I see we still have quite a number of members still listening. So in case you want to go through this session again, just go to our YouTube channel, Corner Circle. You'll be able to recap all the conversations from there. We will also share this conversation through a text message, probably tomorrow, so that you can go through it again or even share with those who missed out so that they can listen in and get to also understand and to hear from the horse's mouth. So thank you very much. We expect to hear more from you in regards to mortgage. Those who would like to apply, those who have more questions or queries, you can always email us at email us at info@cornercircle.com or circle@safaricom.co.ke, or you can reach out to Nelson or I for more information on mortgage. Yes, thank you very much. Have a beautiful day for those who are waking up now, a wonderful day for those who have been with us throughout, and a good afternoon. Thank you so much, and see you soon on our next session. Bye-bye.
A home is more than a structure. It's a sanctuary, a cherished retreat where dreams are nurtured, futures are shaped, and legacy is born. To us, home is not just a building, but the very heart of life's journey. A place where every cherished moment unfolds, where laughter echoes through the rooms, and where each corner tells the story of those who live there. Our circle believes that everyone deserves a place to call their own. A space that embodies security, warmth, and belonging. This is a place where memories are made, families are raised, and the dreams of today lay the foundation for the generations of tomorrow. Imagine the pride and the peace that comes with knowing you have a stable, welcoming haven. A space that grows and evolves with you and your family. It's a place where you feel safe, where you celebrate milestones, and where every wall, every room holds significance. Here, you find the strength to dream and the freedom to live fully, knowing you have a place to return to, a place that is unmistakably your own. It's home. Together we rise where we belong. There is some road, we are at the corner. In our hands, you feel so much stronger.